Southland, 1 week at a time. SCV Chat starts now.
Somebody played with the intro.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, our software has really stepped up with some of the things they allow us to do. So we that's why we take 2 weeks off after National Reunion, is to play on things and get things working back. But before we get kicked off, the views and opinions expressed on this broadcast are not necessarily those of the SCV, HGC, nor any division, brigade, camps, or other subsidiaries, strictly those of us who are expressing them, especially not that of that executive director who won't return my call.
That's tragic.
Yeah, well, he is a busy man. It's hard. It's hard being a Velvet Elvis.
Does that look like Velvet Elvis to you right there?
That no. No, that is the venerable and elite past commander-in-chief Jason Boshears, who just happens to be with us this week as we start back from National Reunion and our 2-week break. It was a great time. We'll talk about that some more tonight. I am sure. Paul Ling. It was. Aren't you lucky?
Oh,
that picture was made with the championship belt. I was Fort Donaldson on Saturday, and we had a great event up there. It was a great turnout. National Park Service did a wonderful job of allowing us to come in. We had about 120 people there. And we went over to see, I don't know, a lot of you have probably heard of Jack Henson's One Man War. You know, that's where the sniper, the man that come in, they killed his 2 young boys, young teenage boys, like 11, 12, 13. They saw them out. They were squirrel hunting. And the Federals had a mock trial, executed them, cut their heads off, and put them on the post. But we went and visited Jack Henson's grave. When we went and visited Jack Henson's grave, as you know, there were Kyle Thompson, who's Kentucky Division Commander, is a huge wrestling fan. And if you watched up with wrestling, this is not wrestling, this is wrestling. Wrestling, you know that we lost Hulk Hogan, and he was a huge Hulk Hogan fan, and he had that belt. Kind of a replica copy of it. And he just handed it to me. So I just threw it over my shoulder and he took the picture.
you look like a natural with it too.
Did you at least woo? I mean,
no,
I know you're talking about Hulk Hogan, but I mean,
well, no, Ric Flair held that belt too.
And that's who Jason Moore reminds me of is the Nature Boy.
The Nature Boy, okay. I've been called a lot of things. I've never been called a Nature Boy, Ric Flair. But all I can say is you have to beat the man to be the man.
Yeah.
Can that be the next T-shirt? Just Jason, you gotta beat me to be the man.
And to be the man. To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
I mean, I'm okay with it as long as it's not copyrighted. I'll put anything. Oh, that reminds me, I was supposed to take down the Moose Hunt shirts.
They're off the website.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Darn it.
What's Jason's wrestling name? Jason the T-Rex Boshears.
Yeah, okay. What would be my finishing move though? All the wrestlers have to have a finishing move, like a tombstone pile driver or jackhammer or something like that.
It'd be funny. Jason does like the F5. He picks someone up on his shoulders and benches them, and it's just called Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Armageddon. I'm glad you caught that.
Yeah. Good
the
job,
T-Rex
Moose.
Triceratops, you know, something like that.
Did
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
miss us?
Derek Glover has a good one. T-Rex suplex. I like that.
Yes, yes. I actually like Carl Jones talking about throwing brisket bones. That would
I was
work.
about to say there's an R in there, Summers.
Yeah, a brisket. Yeah.
Just Jason sitting there.
Oh, well,
throwing
did
them.
you have a good time at National Reunion, J-Bo?
I actually did. It was really busy. I was hoping to have a more laid back since I was, no longer in the chair as either LT or CIC. There was still a lot to do. There was still a lot of things that needed to be done. I actually had a very good time. I helped Eric Prevedi a time or two with getting credentials. And I thought that was quite a bit of fun.
Yeah.
I might actually
is.
start doing that every time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I used to help with credentials, but just got out of the habit. But Eric
It's
Rock,
because he got confused with being Adam Southern. People kept coming up to him.
and asking how things were at headquarters, and yeah, I mean that did happen at their credentials table. Thank you for reminding me about that, Moose.
I
Yeah,
figured out I was in the SCV system twice.
How'd you do that?
Back when I joined as a cadet, they didn't give you a membership number, so they still had me in there with my cadet number, and then I was in there, of course, with my regular membership number.
Well, okay. But it was good seeing all of our compatriots, and I just want to again throw a huge shout out to Michael Hurley.
Yeah.
Michael did a fantastic job. He did a lot of stuff behind the scenes to help us out.
Yes.
So Michael, job very well done, and you earned the break. I'm excited to see what Chris and the Kentuckians are going to do next year. That should be a very. I hope it's going to be a very good reunion.
And we do have a little video on that, so go check that out. Hey.
Yeah, we did sit down for a little bit and talk to Chris on Saturday before the reunion let out, and got a good play-by-play what they're planning on doing detail of next year in Kentucky.
Yeah, they've got a lot of things very, very well planned out there. And as far as what happened in Texas, did I have a lot of fun? Yes. It was a busy reunion. But it was a friendly reunion. Saw a lot of people there that I haven't seen since last year's reunion. Yeah. And I always spent some time catching up, getting to talk to people. Didn't get to stay out late any of the nights. I think I probably called it quits, somewhere between 11 and 1 every night, which was actually pretty quick for us. But you met and sitting around talking to people. It was a very good reunion. I thought Texas did a great job. Thought Michael Hurley did an excellent job. The Texas division was good. Enjoyed the tours. Enjoyed visiting with everybody. It was a good reunion, and I've worked a lot with Chris Hawkins coming up on the 2026 reunion, and they're really doing a fantastic job and having a lot of things planned. You're going to have something to do all week long there if you wanted to come in early.
Hey, did McClooney ever figure out which entrance to the hotel was the correct entrance to the hotel?
I didn't know there was ever an issue with that. Was there an issue?
Well, when we first showed up, we were following behind y'all. Y'all just came back from lunch, Summers, and Larry drove into the wrong. And we were following him because we're like, yeah, that's McClooney. He knows what he's doing. He drove in the exit side.
Yes. Yes. I was aware of that. I kind of picked at him about it too, but I didn't want to say too much in case I made the same mistake, because if you were just bebopping down through there minding your own business, it jumped up on you in a hurry. You
Oh,
had to
yeah.
be aware of just right past that line of trees is there it is. By the time you see the sign, it's too late to turn in.
Yeah. Did you get to go to the Alamo?
No, but I've been to the Alamo 4 or 5 times already. I was there with the Order of Southern Cross. We had Order of Southern Cross had their reunion in San Antonio several years ago, and got to spend several days there. Stayed in the Menger Hotel, which is right across the street. Went over there every day. Just have to go. That's Alamo is one of those places you have to go, and to be there where the Tennessee boys were. I was talking to one of the guides there, told him I was from Tennessee, and he goes, "Hey, let me take you to where the Tennessee boys were." And that's just, it makes the hair stand up, and just it's one of those moments. And go to that. I did go to San Jacinto. Did that as a private tour myself, and I enjoyed it.
Did you go all the way to the top?
Yes, sir, I did.
We went all, and of course the San Jacinto monument is the currently the tallest obelisk in these United States. But hopefully one day we'll build one even taller. Susie, I did not know this. My sister is afraid of heights. And so when we were like, we can go all the way to the top, she was like, no, I'm not. And we go up, and she's staring out the window, terrified, petrified, trying to take pictures. And of course, me being who I am, went up behind her and pushed her, and she about threw me off the top of the obelisk.
We almost lost him.
It was
well deserved, was what it was.
yeah. I laughed. Mother laughed. That was 2/3 of our group, so majority rules. At least
that's cool.
At least that's what I'm telling her. So
yeah. Well, that's awesome that y'all got to do that, and I enjoyed San Jacinto. It was we went down and spent a few days in Galveston, because I've never been to Galveston, so I went down there and stayed a few days. It was ourselves and the McClooney's, past Commander-in-Chief Larry McClooney and his wife Annette, and then we just took a drive up to San Jacinto and spent several hours there just on our own, just doing tours, and it was really a good day. It was really a great battlefield, and I think they've done a great job. The only thing that I was missing, I was wanting to see the Texas, and it had been moved, and I was looking forward to see it, but it wasn't there. So that was the only thing that we missed, but I think it had been moved to have some work done to it.
Yeah, I believe she's still in dry dock.
Yes.
So, but I would rather, it just gives us an excuse to go back at some point. So,
yes.
Speaking of going back, we've talked about we've talked about Kentucky, but Mobile is hosting the reunion after that.
Flashback to my past.
I'm looking forward to that. That was my dad's last national reunion. So I'm looking forward to going back to Mobile. Joe Ringhofer and the Sims Camp do a great job putting it on. And then 2028, the Mississippi Division is hosting it at a location to be determined and announced later.
Okay, good. And then 29, Tennessee's going to put in for it. And right now we're looking at hosting it in Franklin, where we did in 2018.
That was a good location.
Yes, I think it was a very good location. We toyed with the idea of going to Chattanooga because it's been a number of years since there has been a SCV reunion in Chattanooga. But we thought, no, it was so good there in Franklin. And, there's so much there to see. Plus, it's closer to our national headquarters.
Right.
Come on, you're going to be, 20 miles away from our general headquarters.
Yeah, and so many of our members haven't been.
Yes, so if you're going to be that close, come on down and come to GHQ, and that's the reason why we decided to go there. But Tennessee's going to put in for it. We're working on the details now. That will all come before the GEC and have the GEC vote on it, and then we'll take it before the membership next year in Kentucky. and that should give 27, 20, 26, 27, 28, and 29. So we'll have the next 4 years.
Well, that's we have to have that. I mean, constitutionally, of course, and then 3 years out, or something along that nature. But
Yes. Yes, you're supposed to be 3 out. When I first went in, I got it to 3 out, and then when Mr. Ringhofer and them stepped up last year, that made us 3 out. So, yes, and then this year, look, we had 2 pop up this year, so that's great, doing wonderful.
Yeah,
and it's and all of them's going to be great reunions. I know Mississippi's going to pick a great spot. I know there's been several places debated already. Just like in Tennessee, we debated a couple of places. Well, we'll end up getting this, and it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I enjoyed the Franklin reunion in 2018. That was a really good one. Of course, I love going to Franklin, and I remember some little T-Rex man kept me up until about 3 a.m. one morning. Now, I did not stay at the host hotel, but if you remember, the host hotel was growing tomatoes in the smoking area.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that or not. And I was afraid that Carl was going to grab them for a spam sandwich at some point, but he didn't. But I look at my phone, and next thing I know, it's 3 a.m. and Jason and I are still talking, and we're the only ones down in the lobby. I mean, hotel staff is all checked out. Everybody else is checked out. It was just, and I was like, hey, I've got to get back to the La Quinta so I can be back for the Army meeting tomorrow. I'll talk to you later. And then we still talk for another 30 minutes after we said goodbye.
Yes.
It's usually how it goes.
Yes, and that's what I love about the national reunions. To me, it's fellowship. I didn't get to do as much of that this year as I would like, but I did get to talk to a bunch of people, which made me feel good. In the past, last 4, 5, 6 years, I always had meetings to do. Especially the last 2 years. Our meetings with the museum board, the museum committee, with the finance committee. And I'm going, okay, maybe I can get back to hanging around everybody and having a good time. And that was what's attracted me to this organization, was the brotherhood that you shared with so many people. And, like Connor, just standing there having that conversation. And it went on. We started saying, hey, we need to call it a night. We started saying that outside. And it went all the way through the lobby.
And then all the way to the front door.
Yes. The one thing about it was I did not have to wait on the elevator to go up because there was nobody out there but us.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'll give about this. This hotel. Normally we have an elevator break, and the chat folks, we kind of play bingo, and that we didn't want to jinx anybody, so we did not put that on our bingo card this year. But yeah, I was very, very pleased about that. Very, very pleased about that.
Yes, and you're right. You're correct. We normally lose at least one elevator, and even some of our members have even got stuck on an escalator overnight.
Yeah,
that one's special.
Yes.
Yeah. But
it'll always be in my heart.
Yes.
One thing that somebody did miss was he missed our 200th anniversary episode
and 5-year anniversary.
Kind of still salty about that, but we'll get over it.
He was there at the beginning, but he wouldn't show up for the 200th episode and 5-year anniversary.
But that's because J-Bo has an announcement to make about a new venture that it's kind of a joint venture between us and his home division. So you want to talk about it now, J-Bo?
Whatever makes y'all happy.
Scotch.
What'd you say?
Scotch, or actually bourbon makes me happy, but.
Well, I think that makes a lot of people happy. Welcome to the club. And speaking about it, the Tennessee Division has been talking, and as you know, there's been conversation about us hosting the national reunion, and that's proceeding on in 2012. and there's been some conversation with Tennessee Division Commander John Blankenship about starting a chat. As you know, Look Around Florida moved to Wednesday night, and that left Tuesday night open, and batted around a few names, and we decided to call it Tennessee Tuesday. So we're going to start going live. We were going to be working on this and was planning on starting tomorrow night, but that's not going to be able to happen because it's still some things that we have to get in place. Instead of just throwing it out there and duct taping it together, we actually want to put a show together that actually looks good. After talking with John Blankenship about it in detail, we want to set up a schedule on what we're going to do on like the first Tuesday night, the second Tuesday night. And we actually asked, and I want to thank Connor. Connor has done something that is very nice. He has set up and created through Canva an intro for us. And I'd like for him to play it if he would so desire. But we're getting Mike Dunn and Marlon Rude to play us some more intro music, because you saw the intro that they have here for SCV Chat. And then you go into Carl Jones playing and singing, and we need to do something that when people listen, they know they're listening to a Confederate program. When I talked with Mike Dunn about it, they know as soon as they mention it. When you're going through the radio dial and you hit a country station, you know immediately. If it's a classic country, you know it immediately. You just know it, and that's what we wanted. We wanted the intro like what Connor has done, because it's so much information and so much data in it, which is very, very good. Thank you for that, Connor. I thank you for it. And then doing the intro music, and it's going to be very much Tennessee related. It's going to be Mike Dunn and Marlon Rude playing instruments and period instruments and doing period music such as the Bonnie Blue Flag. And then we're going to be working on our programs throughout. John Blankenship and I are going to be hosting this, producing, co-producing, co-hosting this together. And we are going to be working with the two gentlemen that you see here, Moose and Connor, working with them. And we're even going to help back them up in case, because we know everybody gets busy. And, you need a show fill in, you need some help. I've helped these two gentlemen before hosting this program, and sometimes it's very beneficial to have two people. Yes, one person could do it, but sometimes it's more efficient to have two people to do it. And John Blankenship is very, very cordial about this. He was very much for this. This is just going to be something, and we're going to call it Tennessee Tuesday. And right now we're looking at starting next Tuesday. So we're not going to be tomorrow night, but we're going to be next Tuesday night. So if you have that intro ready, if you want to play it, please do.
Yeah, I'm having to do it the good old fashioned way.
Okay.
But I've only been playing with it for about, an hour.
Yes, and now it's going to change between now and then, because you saw a lot of the stock footage that you see in the regular SCV Chat introduction. But you saw at the very beginning what they had in there as far as making it a Tennessee Tuesday program. But it'll change between now and then, and it will develop over time. And I want to thank John Blankenship. He's been, when this idea first came up and it was first mentioned, he was very much for it. And I want to thank him for that, because as y'all know, this is where a lot of people come and get their information. Let's just be honest about it. And being current and up to date is a very good thing.
I will say this, that all the background videos behind the ads, at least for like the friends and stuff like that, that is all footage from Tennessee. So like the stream and everything like that, that's all stuff inside of Tennessee to make it, kind of hit home.
And, we'll have some stuff that we'll send your way, like maybe some of the stuff that pictures I took at Fort Donaldson, and maybe pictures that have been taken at Shiloh, maybe pictures from Winstead Hill and Franklin, and all of those can be incorporated into that intro. So, hey, this is really a Tennessee gig. Yes. And I just excited about it. I know this is a opportunity. And yes, I did feel bad about not attending the 5th year anniversary, since I was part of it. And we'll talk about that at another time. But why that didn't happen, but we won't talk about that here. We'll talk about it at a different time.
That's just because you don't love us. We know. It's fine.
Actually, I had a T-Rex outfit there, and things come up, and we'll just talk about it another time.
Yeah, I was about to say, now hold on. I wasn't supposed to be the only one getting shot at this year.
Yes. And we'll talk about it at another time. But yes, I had my T-Rex costume was there, and it did fit. And well, actually, it was too big for me. I had to kind of bounce around in it to get the dude moving good. It would have been hilarious to trot around in that thing. I might have had to, somebody might have had to dial 911 because I'd hurt myself in it, but I think it would have been fun. And, that's something we'll talk about doing in the future. So
I will say that for those that did participate in the moose hunt, thank y'all, because we raised $200 in the span of about an hour for Forest/Rod.
Yes.
Speaking of, how was that going?
Wonderful that you should ask. General headquarters was very busy today. On site, we had the architect, the person that's doing the CAD drawings for us to be able to get to the people that's going to be doing the builders. We had him on site. He was working, as you know, we have been told from the very beginning there were CAD drawings. We had architectural drawings for us to be able to build this. And when it actually came time, there were none. So we have had to create them, and doing them from pictures and from drawings and from different things. He wanted to come and confirm the sizes of all of the pieces and to make sure we had all of the pieces. Great news. The architect told me today we have all the pieces on site. We had been told that, but the architect, who is going to be responsible for drawing and putting this big Lego structure back together, so to speak, and I don't mean to, call it a Lego piece, but it has got to be put back together. And it's going to have to be put together with cranes, because some of these pieces are 5 tons, 3 tons. So we're going to have to put this thing together with cranes. And he said, yes, we have all of the pieces. Every piece is accounted for. Now, where he's going to finish up the drawings, he is going to get them to the structural engineer. Structural engineer's been kind of giving him advice, asking him questions. This is what you need to take a look at. This is what we need to take a look at, because there's going to be a lot of weight we support. with this, because you look, by the time it's all said and done, top of Nathan Bedford Forest Head, he's going to be nearly 21 feet up in the air. And there's a whole lot of weight that we're going to have to disperse throughout this whole piece. With all of that being said, he's the structural engineer is waiting to get all of the drawings and to make sure everything's out. So the architect was there today, and he was there. He was there 9:30 this morning, and he left about 4 o'clock. So he spent the entire day looking at all of the different pieces, measuring all of the different pieces, making sure we had everything there that we need. Everything there is accounted for. The next piece of this for him is to come in and label it, because the builders, and we've already starting to talk to some builders, and they don't want to move a piece twice.
Right.
What I mean by that is they don't want to move it to a staging area. They don't want to go get a piece and go and move it to a staging area and then get it again to put it up. It's going to be one of those things that when they go and get it, they're going to get it, bring it, and put it in, go get another piece. So we're going to have to arrange the pieces and label them so they know which pieces to go get and in what order, because it's going to have to be put together in an order. So that was one of the things we did. Then we went, him and I and Lee Miller and our executive director, Adam Southern, went to the actual site and talked about some of the groundwork that's going to have to be done. We're going to come in and have, where they come in and they measure everything out. They tell the slope of everything. We're going to take, when we did this, we had it for the museum. Now we're going to complete it from the museum all the way to where the slope goes off. We're going to do it all the way from there so we can check our slopes, because we're going to have, as you know, how all of it drains off. If you stand at the gravesite where the Looney Family Cemetery or Simeon Commons, you'll notice it goes off to the front and off to the right toward the road, down toward where that grove of trees is down there. So we're going to, we got a walkway coming through there. So we're going to have to bring somebody in. And what's the thing I'm thinking about, where they come and, they mark out how much acreage something is, and the slope of the land, and they do the architecture
and all that.
What'd you say?
Say full survey and
Yes.
the grading and everything like that.
Yes, a full survey. They're going to be doing that because we got to put a walkway. As you know, the walkway is going to be going from the Robert E. Lee statue headed out there to it. So all of that's going to have to be figured in. Looking at the French drain system that we're going to need to put in to move all of that water around it. So it's going to be a lot of work with that. That was the conversation today. So we do have all of the pieces. And right now we're going to have another survey done, and it's going to start where we finished off with the museum, because the museum goes to about where the Looney Family Cemetery is. And from the Looney Family Cemetery, we're going to do it all the way out in front of the grave sites. So we know the slope of the land and we can control all of that. So that's going to be on the next piece that we're doing. And in the meantime, going to start getting the architectural drawings finished and get them to the structural engineer, get everything exactly the way it needs to be, and we'll be ready to go. Meanwhile, while that was going on, we had Venetti, as you know, Venetti Casting and Design was who the General Executive Council voted to do the repair work on the equestrian statue. Well, they showed up today as well. So yes, we had multiple things going on. They did a full 3D rendering of the 1840s cavalry saber that Forrest carried. They did a imaging of that, and that's cool. And I think I've sent y'all pictures of it. I don't know if I sent it of the cavalry, but there they are doing the 3D imaging of the tail. Now this isn't, they're not going to, we are going to do a 3D imaging of the entire equestrian statue. but we can't do that until we get the tail piece fixed. So he is doing an imaging of the tail piece. You know, I showed a video of the tail piece as it was missing. I had it on Facebook, and I showed the nut and where they had welded on it and all of that. And now this was where the piece had broken off. Think of it as a bunch of us have broken teeth, chipped a tooth. You had to have a cap put on or a crown put on. You know, they stick that imaging wand in your mouth and create something. That's what he's doing. So he did a 3-day imaging of the tail, and he's going to fix the tail, and they're going to cast the tail for us. And then they're going to go ahead and start casting the 1840s cavalry saber. And when they did a full 3D imaging of that, they did it with one of the men wearing it, so you would be able to see how it would hang properly. And then with seated, so you would know how it would hang properly. And then going to put all that back together. As soon as I get those pieces down, they'll be down to do the rest of the repair work. So they did not give us a time frame other than said that they're going to start casting the tail, and they did the 3D imaging. So that piece is going to be a piece that can be recreated in case it needs to be. So, and, multiple times, so to speak. But, because I was talking with somebody the other day, and they said, well, if you're going to do that, how about making a couple of extra ones of them and kind of sell those for fundraisers? This is we created the tail. Why not create that? Because, we're talking about creating the bronze miniatures. And so it's there was a lot of activity at General Headquarters today. And it was a long day. It started, yes, and that is the architect and Lee Miller. You can see the first block there in front. That block right there weighs 3,000 pounds. And that has Nathan Bedford Forrest and his information on it. That's one of the things. When you were facing the equestrian statue, and where it was in Memphis, when you were facing it, that was the piece that was on the left side of the base. And what we did, that's the architect that is standing on the other piece. He's been measuring and marking off all the different pieces that we need. So that is from where the architect was doing his work. So today was a busy day. Once we got, the bid approval, and, it took us a while to get the bids. I started contacting them after Commander-in-Chief Donnie Kennedy put me in charge of the bid, and it just took a while. It took 3 months to get all of the bids in because we needed at least 3 bids. And by the time we got the bids in, then, of course, work's going to progress on it pretty quick. And as you can see, it's moving, and it's moving pretty quickly now.
Yeah, I was about to say, it seems like everything is moving pretty quick, which is good. We definitely don't want to wait on it.
No.
Yeah, it's excuse me. It's something I can't wait for is the rededication or the unveiling.
Oh, that's going to be, I took the architect, and I took him down, put him in the truck, took him down to the bottom of the hill. And we know the video, if Wallace could talk video, and you do at the very beginning where it has that reveal shot. And I took him down to in front of that and drove up, and I said, you think about what we're going to be building. It's 50 feet, 75 feet. This is going to be a huge structure that we're going to be building. And so it's going to cover quite a bit of territory. And Forest is going to be nearly 21 feet up in the air. This is going to be an impressive piece. And then you take the house, and here he is out in front of all of it. And you have the house and the museum silhouetted. And it's going to be impressive. And that was the conversation that we have had with the architect, with the people, Vanetti people that are doing the work. This is going to be a showpiece. This is one of these things that's extremely humbling to work on. As I told them today, we're making history. When we are rebuilding this. It's and they picked on me a little bit at National Reunion because I said reconstruction, and they didn't like the term reconstruction. But they also didn't like another term that I used because I was calling it a resurrection. We're going to resurrect it, and that's too biblical. How about we'll call it reconstruction, and then you get to reunion and they go, oh, it's not reconstruction. Let's do rebuild. So when we're rebuilding it, this is when we had this discussion about it. This thing needs to last to the rapture. Right. I want people. I want our members 100 years from now, Connor, Moose, your kids and your grandkids to be able to come to this and see this and go, those boys knew what they were doing. This hasn't moved. And it's like I was telling the architect, we know the issues that they had in Memphis with the water coming in and coming into the grave sites. And, we don't want any of that. We can't have any of that. I don't want any of this stuff washing out from under it. I don't want this thing sinking or leaning. It needs to be, if anything has to be perfect, in my opinion, this is the thing that has to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And, this has to be beyond the shadow of a doubt. I know everybody's in a hurry for it. I know everybody wants it done, but this has to be done right. And if not, I don't want somebody to, 10 years from now to pull me to the front at a national reunion and just, what in the world were y'all boys thinking? It's coming apart. It's sinking. It's, no, everything's got to be done and done correctly and thought of and talked about. That's the reason why we're talking to architects and all these other people who have done it, because they know what they're doing. And some of the builders that we're going to be talking to, they have done this work. Vanetti has done this work. So we're dealing with people who are veterans in this.
Well, I mean, I remember at the pre-GEC meeting, you talking about them and how not only were we getting this for Bedford Forest, but also the Jeff Davis statue,
yes,
and a couple of others, and just how friendly the company seemed to be working with us. That was
oh yes,
that was very very, very nice.
Vanetti's has done work for us before, and the people that we're working with, the architects and all of that, they're SCV members.
Okay, I knew that, and especially like the cost estimate from the architect. And I feel for them with CAD. I've had to work in CAD before,
yes,
with some of the stuff here
yes,
with my. Yeah, it's a booger to figure out.
Yes. Yes.
But we're going to take a really quick commercial break. And when we get back, Moose has some updated numbers. We normally give a report at National Reunion. Just because of time constraints this year, we could not. So some what we've done from July to July. Really quickly, of course, our commercial breaks are brought to you by our Patreon members. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/SCV_chat. We have three ways you can support us on Patreon. 2 ways are new. Of course, we have our basic chat head, $10 a month membership. J-Bo, did you get your sticker yet?
I got the SCV Chat sticker, yes, but yes. I haven't gotten another sticker.
That's the only one you get. Yes. Unless you join our $30 a month merch tier, which our merch tier, you get a coffee mug, you get a sticker, you get a mini poster, you get a t-shirt, and I think that's it. You get something once a quarter. So $20 more a month, you get some extra goodies. And then of course we have our sponsors, and we had our first sponsor come in, and he is Dr. Chris. I'm not even going to try to say Chris's middle Italian name.
We love you, brother, but no.
Yeah.
Could you imagine me trying to do it?
No, I can't. But it's Dr. Chris Cummins. Chris is a member of the SCV. He's also a member of the MOSB and the Order of Southern Cross. Great Southern friend and compatriot. Dr. Cummins he is based out of Oxford, Mississippi, and he has CMCMD PLLC. They do a lot of everything, but they specialize in knee pain treatment. So if you are near the Oxford area and you are wanting to get your knees fixed or anything else, check them out. Google them. They're at 406 Galleria Drive, Suite 7, Oxford, Mississippi. And of course, we'll have some more sponsors hopefully coming on the rest of the season. But Moose, why don't you go ahead and roll us a commercial?
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Boy, can you imagine what that Forest Plaza is going to look like? Folks, it's going to be a reality. Now, we're going to get it together. We're going to put it together right. Don't have a date. Don't have working on the timeline. So when anybody goes to ask, and I've already been asked repeatedly, when are you going to put and dedicate it up? You'll be known as soon as we go. So we're going to be I took some videos and pictures and things today. I'm going to start putting that stuff. I started a Facebook page called Forest Last Ride, and I'm going to be putting some things on it. And so that'll be the place that you can go and keep up to date. Plus, here on SCV Chat, with the gentleman's permission, when news comes on, I'd like to come and break it on here, and then again on, Tennessee Tuesday. So you're going to get up-to-date information, because the pictures that you saw them earlier, they were today. And tomorrow, well, Tennessee State Museum is going to be bringing more artifacts to put on loan at the museum. So we're going to have the Tennessee State Museum there. I don't know what they're going to be planning, if they're doing any rotating or what they're going to take back with them, but they do have several good artifacts that they're going to bring and put on display. So today I spent all day at our national headquarters, and tomorrow I'll be there most of the day with the Tennessee State Museum, getting all of that worked out and to work on cabinets. And we have more things that are being donated. We have a mostly original forge that has been donated, and that's coming. Lee Miller informed us today that he has a field ambulance that he is looking at donating, that he has. It's got some rotten wheels, and I've done some work with that, so we're going to be getting that. So, you know, we've got some big artifacts coming. Our membership has taken care of this. Our membership has taken care of us very well. Guys, if you got anything, we have empty cabinets. Order of Southern Cross has been very generous with us about cabinets. We need good artifacts. If you've got something, put it on loan to the National Confederate Museum. You know, let everybody know it's out there. Your name will be put on a card that says on loan from or donated to National Confederate Museum from, you know. But we need artifacts, and bring them on.
There's one thing that we never were able to. We try not to mention it, strictly because of, you know, the monetary. You know, we don't disclose how much our budget is and stuff like that. But one thing that, and correct me if I'm wrong in my understanding, but with the budget that was passed by the organization, we now have it to where the museum will be open on weekends, right?
That is going to have, first answer is yes, but there is a however. And the however is they have to get someone hired because, as you know, you have to be bonded to be able to take money. And if you're going to be in the museum and you're going to be selling merchandise and you're going to be selling tickets, people say, well, you can get a volunteer to do it. No, a volunteer cannot take money in this. There's going to have to be a licensed, it's going to have to be a dedicated employee that is bonded to be able to handle the money. So when they get that person hired and trained, yes, we will be open on Saturdays, every Saturday. But they have to get that person hired, get them trained, and then that will happen.
Yeah,
I look for it to happen in a couple of months.
Well, I'm excited about it. And of course, if you are interested, I guess contact headquarters. That sounds like a job that, you know, you'd be interested in.
Yes, and of course it'll be a part-time position, and it could just be Saturday only, but it could be one of those things. If you're close by, you might work another day a week, you know, or not. You know, depends on how membership needs help. You know, so it's, you know, we could always use an extra person to answer the phone. I've worked up there before, answering the phones, doing this, and everybody's on the phone and other phones are still ringing and your phone's beeping in your ear and you got somebody on the line. So we could always use an extra person up there just to answer the phone. And we've all heard, and we've all had the frustration of trying to call up there and not get anybody. And it's not their fault. They're on the phone. You know, they're just not enough of us. And so, you know, could be an opportunity for that. But the answer to your question is yes. That was in the budget with the intent, and it's in the budget to hire another employee.
So
good things are coming.
Yeah, great things are coming, and you know that's something that at least, you know, I've heard from members of, you know, man, I tried to go up there, but they were closed. The day I could make it, so and you know that'll help, you know, the museum step up another level. I mean, it has done great over the past, you know, it is from the very first Adam video to that one. There's so much, you know, improvement that happened on those grounds you know, we can't, you know, even. I mean, it's. I remember. Well, I remember I was there for the groundbreaking under Strain's administration, and to see where we are now, I mean, it just didn't happen overnight, and our membership does deserve a good pat on the back for that.
Yes, and more things are coming. You know, and what has made it so far, folks, we have not gone out and we have not bought artifacts. We've not. This is going to be things that have been loaned to us from Beauvoir, from the Tennessee State Museum, from the Sam Davis Home, and things that our members and like-minded people have donated or loaned to us. So this isn't one of those things that, hey, we've gone out and we bought this. No, this is our membership. And thank goodness our membership has done what they've done. And, you know, I talked to them and they say they have more stuff, and okay, guys, bring it. You know, it's, this is an opportunity for, and it's going to be put on display and people are going to see it. And, you know, that's the point of this is, and to be able to tell the stories. If you have an artifact that's got some provenance, you know, it was to a particular person. Let's say it was your great great grandfather, you know, and he had this musket. And let's just make it a musket, and he's got this musket. Okay, all of a sudden we get to tell his story, and we get to tell the story of the unit that he was with. That's the purpose of having the artifacts. So,
anyway, Musso, how about our numbers?
All right. So I do want to point out we kind of have gotten into a habit, either if we do an update at National or not, of the Monday after the break, we come in and do the numbers. And first, I want to thank y'all for 5 glorious years of SCV Chat and over just 200 episodes of our flagship show. I started doing some of the math. And if you combine Look Around and some of the events we've covered or just live streams, at least from YouTube's point of things, we are at almost 500 episodes, live streams, and videos. And so we couldn't have done this without y'all. But here's some of the stuff. So I actually messed up when someone did ask me the numbers at National. I do have some new stuff. First off, I wanted to point out we are reclaiming the narrative, because when people search stuff like Confederate Soldier, Dixie, SCV 2023 specifically, Confederate North Carolina, Confederate flag, and stuff like that, we have started popping up. So people are starting to hear our message across the world. We have a strong audience in India, Canada, Britain, France. We have started breaking out all over the world. And of course, if you've watched a couple of our updates, this is nothing new, but those numbers have steadily grown. This year, we did a lot of good shorts. Thank y'all for supporting us in that. And please continue to, because those are reaching some high numbers. But overall, this year, SCV Chat has reached 1.6 million people. That is up 600,000 views from last year, which was 1 million to 1.1 million. And this year, we actually came so close to hitting the 1.7 million mark in views. So SCV Chat is steadily growing. Connor will talk about some of the other stuff we're doing in a second, but the numbers I have, phenomenal. Again, we are continually to break down the mark, appearing in stuff like when someone just types in history, SCV Chat appears now. Stuff like that. I mean, we have really crushed it this year. We are up, let's see here, 61% in viewership on Instagram. As I said, up 30% on Facebook, again, getting more than almost another million more than what we got last year. Again, 66,000 or 660,000 more views this year. That is from, of course, July to July. The numbers are just crazy. As I said, I sit down today and redid my math a couple times to make sure the number wasn't off like I had at National. But nope, this year we have reached over 1.6 million people on this show. And it has just been a crazy journey.
Which is one reason why we've launched our Patreon. We've had several people ask, or several people comment that they don't want to do a pay-per-view or something like that for our content. It's not so much for us to do a pay-per-view. It's for us to be able to take our episodes and pay to boost them on YouTube and on Facebook and things like that. It's for us to buy better equipment so that when like these microphones and like the webcams I'm currently shopping for, it's a way for us to be able to afford that so that we put out a better quality. And just like the new introduction video or the introduction video y'all saw for Tennessee Tuesday, or the new introduction video that we'll have for Look Around next week.
Yes.
It's for that, or if we make an intro for Commander's Comments, it's for us to be able to put a more better spin on our stuff.
Well, just to have a StreamYard subscription.
Yes.
And then, that's, well, let's just be honest. Y'all know what that number is. It pushes $1,000, to be able to do that, and that's $1,000 that comes out of y'all's pocket. That money has to come from somewhere. And then to create the content, you're doing Canva and everything else. And that, that none of that, all that you have to pay for. And I know just what little I do. And it's nothing compared to what I've spent on cameras, laptops, equipment, tripods, cameras for them. I mean, just it runs into money. And it's that's the reason why that I became a member of Patreon, because, okay, I just give $10 a month, but that helps them to do, to create the content to do this, because they're doing the work for free. But it just takes money to be able, and I know you're doing the work for free, but it takes money to be able to have a StreamYard subscription. It takes money to have a subscription to Canva, and that has to come from somewhere. And that's the reason why Patreon is important. And that's the reason why I did it, because I was buying stuff to help out with y'all, and I'm going, okay, I need to do something to help more, because I know it's not cheap. And I've got a Canva subscription, and, all I can say is go float alone when you go try to do StreamYard or something like that. And just what I've spent on computer equipment, monitors, laptop, new monitors, new cameras. I mean, just what I've spent on technology just to be able to get ready, to do this. And it's, but what else are you going to do? It's something that, if you believe in, and this is how we reach out and get people, what, $1.6 million know who Moose, 1.6 million people know who Moose is.
That's a scary thought.
That really is a scary thought that, all the women know who Moose is now.
And like, I know we actually went up in families watching us this year, so they can break down on our equipment. I can see, and of course we have a good strong male audience, a good strong female audience. But I noticed this year numbers of families watching the show, bringing their kids to watch every Monday, to watch every Thursday. Look Around the Confederation in SCV Chat. So again, I can't thank y'all sharing, commenting, liking. That helps us out a crazy amount. And again, J-Bo has talked about it. Everything we produce on this show costs money. Again, that's the reason we got the Patreon, is because we wanted to do more. And that new content that we've started making are adding on to what we've already done. It is also blowing up. I don't want to throw that down. The new stuff that y'all have let us started doing with the Patreon is also getting out there. And so these numbers are just extraordinary. And again, I can't thank y'all for 5 years, because, me, Connor, and J-Bo talked about it. It'd been weird if this has been 5 years and we got like 5 people watching, but we get about 3,000 people an episode usually watch. SCV Chat's 200th episode, by the way, is now the most watched episode in that history, with over 14,000 views. A lot of our short content is getting up there in the 100,000 views. and we're only growing. We have not had a quote unquote down month. We always keep steady numbers and always grow, and we have been growing for 5 years. It's crazy to think about it, but I have the numbers for all 5 years. I've always kind of been the numbers guy, which is ironic if you know me. I still don't understand why Connor did that to me. But we started out with just 125,000 people watched that first year. Barely over 100,000 views in a year, and now this year we've reached 1.
And we were excited.
Oh my gosh, we were just rolling in it. And our first platform, I remember when they told us that we broke 3,000 views.
Yeah, we were,
and that was a big deal to us, because on that old platform, for those who don't know, if you start bringing in 3,000 views, or back then at least in 2020, you could start really pushing that platform would really start pushing you to the homepage. So that was a big thing back then. But now that we do those numbers in a month, the first year's total, we doubled that in just 1 month with in just the past 3 or 4 weeks, and we were on a break, so reruns were playing. We already have gotten 300,000 views towards the next year's total. And again, we haven't been producing new content. We haven't been posting. That's just y'all helping us get out there to the public. And I do want to point out, we have a strong SCV audience, but our audience of just Southerners wanting to know more about Southern history is also steadily growing.
Which, of course, for those that are watching that are not in the SCV, come on in.
And please come on in. And I'll go ahead and tell you this. I'm a docent up there on some Wednesdays giving tours at the house. And there have people that have come in and do a tour. Okay, and I always ask the question, where are you from? How did you hear about us? I have had one that come in and said, and it was a husband and wife that were in their retirement years. And they go, you remember the SCV? No. Or you remember the UDC? No. Where'd you find out about us? Our grandkids were watching you on SCV Chat. Because their grandkids had come and stayed with them during a holiday like Christmas, and they would sit in there and their grandkids were watching SCV Chat. And that's how they found out about the SCV. That's how they found out about the museum. And they go, well, and they live 30 miles from there. They didn't know anything about the house. They did not know the museum was even there. And they found out about it on SCV Chat because their grandkids were watching it. Yeah, Connor, I know that look. I probably had about the same look on my face.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that story.
Mine
Which
well.
I'm glad you didn't tell me that before now, because I would have inflated my ego even more.
Yeah, and it doesn't need any help. 5 long years, I can tell you, it doesn't need any help.
But that's how you're talking people my age and older. I'm retirement age, okay? I'm an old man. But when, but that's what, that my age and older, and they were, and they're on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning. A Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And grandkids. And that's how we decided to come. Okay.
That is
so, that kind of stuff happens. And, because, and we think about it, about the kids watching it, but the grandparents heard the kids watching it. Yes, Adam, I know I'm old. Okay. Or I'm going to just start calling you casserole. So
I don't think that was Adam. I don't think that was Adam commenting. I think Kayla stole Adam's phone, and she does hate you.
She told us that at the 200th episode, actually.
Yes.
It's confirmed.
Yes, she does hate me. And if she stole Adam's phone, I'm just going to be quiet because Kayla scares me. So I'm just going to go ahead and let that go. But if Adam did it, thank you, Casserole. Oh, okay. Yeah, we all know better than that. Okay.
He's trying to dig him. He's trying to dig himself out of that hole Kayla dug him in.
he realized that you're going to come up there at some point this week and talk
Tomorrow.
to him tomorrow.
I'll be there tomorrow and be there Wednesday.
Poor
But
Adam.
in SCV Chat, we think about, well, the kids are watching it, and here there are the grandkids, here the kids watching it, and they're curious, they're wanting to know, and then they said, yeah, we'd like to go through the museum after this, and when they went in there, I saw them a little later, and they were interested. They were reading, and tell you the truth, they'd learned some stuff from their grandkids, because the grandmother had her cell phone out and was scanning QR codes. And I'm going, okay. And they were reading more of the story that was involved in all of this. That is, so this has an effect, and we think about it, well, it's just going to be on the younger people, but grandparents saw this because of grandkids. And they knew y'all too.
And now that's scary, but I do know that me and Connor feel the same way on this, that we are blessed and happy to have this show, SCV Chat, and do it every week. I told Connor before we went live that, dude, it actually feels weird not to do the show now.
Yeah, it really does.
Like on Mondays and Thursdays, like I wake up and, I get to my office. Here's Audrey, by the way. And I start thinking, okay, well, let's go ahead and see what tonight's game plan is. Let's pull up the schedule. Let's get promotional out. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's make sure the website's still up and running. Let's make sure if there's anything on the website that needs to be edited or fine-tuned, stuff like that. I mean, when you don't do it for 2 weeks, and I mean, we only take off, maybe 4 weeks a year officially. There's sometimes there's stuff that comes up, but
right. Officially 2 for where you're not going to have an episode. You've got the 2 weeks after National, and then 2 weeks for Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And then after that, it's every Monday and Thursday. And again, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love my heritage. I love my history. And this show gives me the opportunity to show everybody else, that love, and hopefully people who hadn't been introduced to Southern heritage or have only heard one side of it gets to hear a little bit of it. I mean, this has been a blessing. I messed with Connor a bit ago about, our egos being inflated, but honestly, that's a humble pie right there that you gave us.
Yeah. Well, and to me, my pastor's been, harping on this or not harping. That's the wrong thing to say. He's been saying this for the past couple of weeks, that you can't reach anybody like yourself, or the best person you can reach is someone like yourself. So that's all we're trying to do is just reach people like-minded like us that are tired of hearing, everything that they were taught, generations ago, whether it was, our generation where they've never been taught the truth, or, my sister and I are the same generation, but, the next generation, what have you, that, you can't reach anybody like yourself, or nobody can reach somebody like yourself. So that's just, 1 week at a time.
We're claiming the narrative 1 week at a time. And I think if we've proven anything, that there's people clamoring and craving the truth on our heritage. I mean, again, we were just 40,000 views off 1.7 million. And, we get 40,000 views in like 2 weeks, sometimes maybe a week. So, I mean, we came this close to hitting 1.7. And I mean, again, we've hit drastic jumps. It's not even a small jump. Connor can attest to this. Every viewership numbers have been a huge jump. It's never just been a couple extra thousand views a year. So I'm looking forward to next year. I think we'll hit at least 1.7. As I said, we usually either double it or get 140 or 400,000 extra more views. So I'm looking forward to the next year, and I know with the new Patreon levels, it will definitely help get the message out there, because we did talk about this when we started, but we got the chat head level, which is $10 a month. Got a merch level now for $30 a month, and of course our sponsorship level, which is $80 a month.
Yeah,
and I believe we got another sponsor as the show was going.
Let me see. I will say this, that if you're camp, division, brigade, other subsidiary, y'all can well, we did get another Patreon member, and another Patreon member, Chuck Mack.
No, Chuck paid for the sponsorship, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, Chuck,
thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. We'll have to talk to you about what you want us to throw up there.
Yeah, let's see here.
Because that's one thing that your sponsorship does give you is, if you have a business, if you have a camp, if you have if it's your division, we throw a title card up there, and then before we take our break, just like we did with Doc's thing, we'll plug whatever you want us to plug within reason.
Yeah. Yes. You have to put that there. Yes.
Yeah. Now, like Maurice's Gentleman's Club, we're not doing.
Yes. Well, it's like on the bricks and pavers. You have to put on there that disclaimer that says the GEC and the Sons of Confederate Veterans have the right to refuse any logos or any wordings that you put on a brick or paver, and you have to put that on there just to make sure somebody doesn't come on and put something that they shouldn't.
Yeah, so we're not putting the picture of Frank Powell shirtless at the oratory.
That would viewership numbers would just either skyrocket or come crashing down. Not to mention, getting in trouble with our platforms.
Yeah, well,
which we piss them off enough.
that and Frank still edits the veteran. And
no.
Wow. I think he's been doing it 22 years now.
Yeah.
Tell me that man's not very good at what he does.
Oh, he is.
Oh gosh, yeah, bless him,
man. And then publishes these other books. He was at Supernog Publishing. Supernog, yeah. And he's doing all these books and all this other stuff. Yeah. Frank's a champion, that's for sure.
And he is coming to Mississippi along with Jason Boshears. Y'all may have seen it or in the intro slide, but we have a conference, a heritage conference. We had this. There was a gentleman, or it was a couple, Carl and Nancy Ford. They have since passed on, but Carl and Nancy were fantastic compatriots. Carl was a past division commander. He was just an icon in Mississippi, and they held a heritage conference every August. Since they passed on, one was right before COVID, one was during COVID. The Mississippi Division has started. Last year was our inaugural. So this is our second annual Carl and Nancy Ford Memorial Southern Culture, History, and Heritage and Education Conference. We will have 4 speakers coming to speak. Jason is one of them. Adam is one of them. Frank is one of them. And the 4th one is a surprise. If he can ever get his speech done. I assume he'll be working on that this upcoming weekend after the DEC meeting in Mississippi. But if you'll email gcbmosb007@gmail.com, I can send you a link to the Eventbrite. It is $40, and that includes lunch. Vendors are welcome. I know past Commander-in-Chief Larry McClooney is coming as a vendor to sell some of his books. I told Adam to bring some stuff from headquarters to sell. So if you missed out, and if you're in the Jackson area, and it's not just War Between States history, just like this show is not War Between States history. We're going to cover. The fourth speaker is currently working on the Battle of Cowpens slide on his talk in the American Revolution Southern Campaign. Jason is going to talk about. Are you doing Sam or are you going to do Pat?
Well, whichever one you want me to do. I was thinking you asked me to do Capture, Trial, and Execution of Sam Davis. But if that's what you want me to do, that's what I'll do. If not, and you want me to do Pat Claiborne, I'll be happy to do Pat Claiborne.
You heard it here first. He is doing Sam Davis. So Sam Davis is like my favorite that you've given.
Oh gosh, it's great.
And then but Adam is going to talk about the Southern agrarians from the 1940s at Vanderbilt that were a movement to go back to our agrarian roots. And then Frank is given the talk that he did at SD Lee last year on Southern literature. So you're getting a lot of different aspects of what makes the South a unique, our history, as well as what makes us a unique people as far as our culture goes. So it's definitely worth the drive over. The War Memorial Building, where I am right now, is a beautiful building. It used to be headquarters of the SCV before we had Elm Springs. So,
yes. And I think about Dr. McCain every time I walk into the library, because, as you know, that our library at General Headquarters is named the Dr. William McCain Research Library.
Yeah, and I get to carry the portrait of Dr. McCain to every reunion from now on.
Yes, yes, and I think that is a wonderful idea. I do, because he was paramount in keeping the organization going. 3,000 members to where we are now, and
half of that.
1,500.
1,500 and less than $1,000 in the bank, and to where we are now, and having a permanent national headquarters. Because it was either office number 5 at the War Memorial Building, or down there in Hattiesburg at his homestead.
Yeah, that's just. He was an incredible man. He did paramount work, and we have had so much coming to the museum, but what we've had donated to the library is even more impressive. When we did the imaging today, there was some of the imaging that was done in the library of the 1840 cavalry saber, and we were having to move stuff off the tables because we've had so many books and all these other artifacts donated. And we've had some SCV and UCV stuff come in, which is really great to have. So,
oh yeah,
yes.
So, anyway, well, Jabo, we appreciate you coming on, and next week we will see you on Tuesday. The good Lord willing, and the creek does not rise. Yes. Moose, you have, I believe, the first commander's comment since National Reunion this Thursday.
We actually had to move it to the next Thursday, so make sure to share this episode out and email scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com so your camp news will be featured on Look Around the Confederation this Thursday.
There's a potential episode with the Arizona division. Go back and check the Facebook about that. That I think would be a good episode for Look Around. So we may can try to work that out for week after next.
Looking forward to it.
So
yeah.
And of course, if just like how Tennessee is now beginning their show, if y'all want our help, all you got to do is ask. Reach out to scvyouth@gmail.com. Our goal a couple years ago, we said this, that imperialism is not always a bad thing, especially if we're building our own media empire. So
Yes.
if y'all want, if your division's interested in doing something like this, reach out to us. We'll be more than glad to help y'all get set up and work on things. And if your division wants an entire episode, just go ahead and reach out.
I'm glad you brought that up, because when we were, this was originally the concept behind this, was starting to create our own media, because we were trying to put, things were happening and they go, well, you need to put a statement out. Well, we were putting statements out and they never got picked up by anybody. And that was the reason why this program came to be, was to start to create our own media outlets. And this was the purpose of this. And, now look at what with 1.6, nearly 1.7 million viewers, we've gone from being thrilled with 125,000 people to 1.6 million in a 5-year period. But the point was behind this was to be able to create our own media empire. And then when we started having the shows and people started watching, I'm going, we need to have something every day for people. And we do.
We're getting there. We do. We have SCV Chat on Monday. We now have Tennessee Tuesday. Look Around Florida on Wednesday. Look Around Florida on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so used to that being a Tuesday show.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have
Look Around the Confederation on
Thursday, and Douglas Southall Freeman on Friday. Only thing we're missing is Saturday. But
Michael Hardy's on Sunday.
Right.
That's a great show. Michael Hardy's an excellent show. And, I just, so we're everything but Saturday. Yeah. And we need to have content every day, because the news is on every day. And now we have channels that's dedicated to nothing but the news.
Yeah. So, and some that say they are, but are not. But that's my views and opinion.
Yes. 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 And don't worry, those will be made. I've already been in contact, and they're not going to be they're going to be the ones people can afford instead of the ones that we're talking about. But I say that, and I have had so far 5 people that have come up to me saying that they want one of those 8 to 12 inch ones on that. And I'm going, look, we're not going to cast them ahead of time, so you're going to have to pay for it, and then it's going to have to be cast. So, but there's people that want that. They want that high dollar bronze instead of it made out of something else. So we're going to see what this is going to bring. Guys, just stay in touch with us. Follow SCV Chat, Tennessee Tuesdays, Look Around Florida, because you're going to get all of the latest breaking news. Those pictures are from today, so I'll be doing some stuff from the museum tomorrow, talking about the things that the Tennessee State Museum has brought and has put on loan to us. So thank y'all for allowing me to come on. Thank y'all for being willing to work with us to get this show up and get this going. I thank you for it. Tennessee Tuesdays, and the thing is, talking with John Blankenship, the Tennessee Division Commander, we're going to support y'all. And, we're going to help y'all. And if y'all need us to come on and help fill in, we will. If not, we're going to push people to your Patreon. Yeah. So this needs to happen.
I just want to see how Alabama's going to react.
Oh, Alabama's coming up, and I think Alabama already has someone that should be hosting a show.
I wonder who that could be.
It would be fantastic. It'd
No,
bring in some views.
I will say this, that we do have a celebrity now, I say celebrity. I got his baseball card.
A baseball legend, if you will.
Yeah, the mayor of Culleoka himself is now a Patreon member. So
yes, and I think he batted 1,000. Wasn't that what his average was? Was he batted 1,000? Yeah.
The unstoppable baseball Hall of Famers.
Yeah. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. And that is the reason why he's now called Sir Casseroe, because, I've been calling him Velvet Elvis, but after today, he's Casseroe.
As long as it isn't tuna casserole. Anyway, we've been at it for a long enough time. We hope that everybody, Jason, thank you again for coming on and being a friend of the show. And like I said, really looking forward to getting this off the ground. And I can't wait to celebrate 5 years of Tennessee Tuesday as a Tennessee fan. I really hope y'all can figure out how to work Rocky Top in there. But if you can't, it is.
I'll go ahead and tell you, we were worried about some copywriting with all of that.
It's a lovely problem.
It really is. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Remember to submit your news. Tune in, guys. Dues are due.
Yes.
Robert E. Lee said that duty is the most sublime word in the English language. A man can never do anything more, and he should never do anything less, or something like that. Your duty, our most basic duty as members of this organization, is to pay our dues, pay them on time, get them in. We've got to. That's how this organization operates.
Yes.
So get them in.
And thank you for bringing that up. Dues were due July 31st. That's actual due date. August is the grace period.
Right.
Anything that is sent in September, you're going to have a $5 penalty on it. But get your dues in. And since we just went through our fiscal year, start preparing to do your 990. It's going to be due by December 15th. Every camp has to do a 990. You have to do it. People are going to say, oh, you don't have to do it because we haven't raised it. Nope. You have to do a 990.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that too. Because that does not just affect your camp, that affects the entire Confederation.
Yes.
Yes. We are very lucky, in my opinion, we are very lucky that we are still a tax exempt organization.
Yes.
And we don't need to do anything to hurt that.
Oh, no. Then I would like to put this out there from Mr. Christopher Rice. You don't want to get hassled about your dues, get yourself a life membership.
Yes. No kidding.
Yes. But please, come on, guys, get your dues in. You know what they went through. I don't have to tell you what your ancestors went through. You know what they went through. Take 5 minutes and cut a check or pay online or do something, and adjutants, please start thinking about doing your 990. Camp adjutants, 990s, due by December 15th.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Hope everybody's enjoyed this episode. And Moose, did you ever do a gag reel?
I knew I forgot something.
Yeah.
It will be on sometime this season.
And that is why I'm going to tell everybody where Moose's nickname really comes from. So it was about 4 or 5 years ago. We were watching the TikTok, and there was a video. No sound. No Fumar?
No Fumar.
You sure?